This is the Front Porch podcast, and today I'm here with Rodg Little, who is a father, a musician, brewer at Oak Park Brewing Company. So thank you for coming.
Thank you guys for having me.
So just to start out, can you share a little bit about yourself and how you ended up here in the neighborhood?
Okay, so I'm originally from North Carolina. So I play music. So that's one of the reasons that I ended up in California. A lot of the bands that we toured with and supported on their tours, they were from California, and they were like, hey, you guys got to come out to Cali. And lo and behold, we ended up meeting a band that was the splitting image of my band. It was like, they're us, we're them, and we just clicked it off really well. And it's like they were on a 3-month tour. We were on a 3-month tour. Their guitarist ended up quitting their tour, and they hit our guitarists up because we had 2 weeks off. And, they were like, hey, man, can you come in and, play these tracks? We just got to do these shows. And, I was like, we got 2 weeks. Do it. So that 2 weeks turned into a month and a half. And our drummer ended up quitting. So I was just like, hey, it's like we did everything on the East Coast, the Midwest, Southwest, but we'd never been to the West Coast. So we were just like, F it, let's go. So, I ended up in Sacramento the day after Y2K. Spent Y2K in Vegas because I was like, hey, if it's going down, I'm in Vegas. But, that was an interesting experience. I was locked into a casino at 11:15, and they didn't let anybody out until 12. So when we finally hit the streets, all the fountains were dancing, and they were playing Lionel Richie's all night long. There was like thousands of people, and it was crazy. It was like the best night. So the world didn't end, so I slept in my car and woke up the next morning, drove straight to Sacramento, jumped in my buddy's van, went on tour with them, and I've been here ever since. Yeah.
So why'd you stay here?
That's
there are other cities in California that probably would have furthered your career more.
What's crazy? I've been here for 20 years.
Okay.
I've never hung out in San Francisco. I've never hung out in Oakland. Everywhere that I've been, it was to play music. So that's something that I really need to do. Just check out Cali and go and kick it, and it's sad to say, Mm-hmm. So I feel that I'm a California resident now because I experienced my first earthquake a couple of years ago and also my first drive-by.
Oh, gosh.
So I was like, I'm official now, so I can talk about it. That was scary.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it was hella scary, and, there was, at the time, there was about 70 individuals in the restaurant that I was in, and I just saw everybody scattering, and I'm standing up going, what's going on, with a red shirt on.
Oh, no.
So I was like, oh, it was a drive-by. I was like, I'm official now. Now I know what the situation is. But, did I answer your question?
Yeah.
What brought me here? So definitely not the earthquakes or the drive-by. But,
not the earthquakes or the drive-by, but the music.
Yeah, music. I also do film and video, so that was another thing. But, the fact that I'd never been out here and, it's like me and my buddies, we were open to, bumps in the roads and challenges. So we were like, hey, it took us 3 years to get a show when we moved out here. But once we got that show, mm-hmm. It was a snowball effect because everybody was like, where did you guys come from? I was like, we've been here for 3 years. You guys are just all clicked up. But now that we're in, it's game on.
Well, that's a long time to bust into the scene.
But it was worth it. The drummer that ended up, taking over the position and the throne, he was like the missing link. Like, we've always had really good drummers, but this guy, talented, he had potential, and that's what I always look for, potential and chemistry. And he's a beast on the drums. I love him to death. Thanks, Uncle Matt. But super cool guy. He was the missing link. Like, man, I wish I could have met him when we first started this. It would it went to like a whole like different level. Yeah.
Got it. So you're still involved in music in
I
town?
don't do as much. I do a lot of recording. I pick and choose. You know, it's like we had our heyday. I don't regret it. I would do it all over again. Learned a lot. I got my PhD
Oh,
in touring.
okay.
Not in physical school.
Got it.
But I think that traveling's, in my personal opinion, something that everybody should do. You know, so I've had the opportunity to see this whole country outside of Alaska and Hawaii. And, you know, I've had an opportunity to play music in Mexico and Cuba. You know, so I feel blessed, but I would do it all over again, you know. So.
What lesson do you think was the most valuable one you learned?
The people are the people. Politics and politicians mess everything up, you know. So, you know, there's three classes of people that, you know, in my opinion, you had the good, bad, and the ugly. You know, so, you know, just, you know, going outside of the United States, I realized in Mexico and Cuba, everybody's the same. They just want to have a place to live. They want to put food on the table, raise their family. But when you put all the politics and all this other stuff into it, it's a struggle, you know. But breaking bread with somebody that I would never see again and having like real conversations, that was huge because I was there for a curriculum. Mm-hmm. But I like to talk. I like to go outside of the curriculum and get the real truth. And doing that, I was like, okay, I know how this works now. So I've met some really great people everywhere that I'll probably never ever see again. Mm-hmm. But those experiences and the stories are huge. Everybody has a story. You just have to be willing to listen, you know. And that's probably the biggest takeaway from me is like getting to know the people, and everybody has a story.
That's amazing. So you are brewing beer now at Oak Park Brewing. How did you transition from music to beer?
Well, you know, with music and beer, that's a big gap. So I got into beer, probably into better beer around 2000, 2005, 2006, 7. My buddy opened up a spot called Pangea Beer Cafe now.
Okay, yeah.
I got turned out by the Belgian styles. You know, they were really good. They had flavor. And I just didn't get that with like the Coors Light, the Paps, and it was just boring. But once I got into the Belgian styles and realized or got to know that there were other styles and subgenres and yada, 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 it became, I guess you can say, like a journey for me. I started seeking out like all these other beers, Trappist beers, sours, IPAs, you know, and I had to learn about all these things. But just being submersed in that environment, the craft beer scene, I just grew to love it. I started out as a home brewer, and I've been home brewing for, you know, close to like 16 years. Even though I'm brewing commercially, I'm a home brewer still. You know, I think the difference between a home brewer and a commercial brewer, there's more creativity on the home brew side of it. You know, you can still be creative on the commercial side of it, but you got to be consistent and persistent, and the quality has to be there. So I hope that answered your question.
No,
so
it
I
did.
got into home brewing by hanging out at Pangea Beer Cafe. Yeah.
Okay, good. And it sounds like just that you enjoy the creativity of it. And
I do. I
And
like
variety.
creating. You know, it's like I've always stood on, and I'll say this for Jeff and KJ. They vetted me and put the opportunity on the table. And Becca, we stand on educate, create, and have fun. That was something that we used with my homebrew club that I started with Cassandra Sutherland and Mike Brennan. You know, we were like educate, create, have fun. You know, and I just stick to that. You know, it's like beer's fun. At the end of the day, it's beer. Drink and be happy. You know, so yeah.
so from your home brew, you ended up at Oak Park. How did that turn out?
That was an interesting story because so Jeff and Becca Scott, they used to be, you know, co-owners of Track 7.
Yeah.
So, you know, I knew Jeff and Becca when they were talking about Track 7. Hey, we're going to do a brewery, blah, 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 blah. I ended up meeting them at a homebrew day, and like they walked in. I was like, hey, what's up? I'm Rodg. We just became friends like instantly. So, when they decided to open up Track 7, me and my girlfriend at the time, we ended up going to their spot to check it out, and there was nothing in there. They were like sweeping the floor. But we were just like, hey, it's like we just wanted to pop in, and we brought like board games and puzzles because we knew it was going to be kid friendly. So Jeff and I, we had a conversation, and this is so crazy because I did another podcast about 2 weeks ago, and I was like, Jeff, I don't even know if you remember this, but the conversation went a little like this. I was like, Jeff, like something's telling me we're going to do something together. We're going to do a venture together, and it's going to be huge. Like, lo and behold, we ended up doing a business venture together, and it wasn't that, because I was like, nah, it's bigger than that. So with me being vetted by Jeff, to brew at Oak Park Brewing, that was it. Like, it's like we're doing some really big things, and we're all on the same page. We're all about community, culture, and just educating and, showing people what they can have.
Can you share some of the stuff that you guys are doing at Oak Park here in the neighborhood?
Yeah.
You've got a lot going on.
I mean, yeah, I can talk about the beer. That's a given. But we're also, right now, we're working on a voter registration program. We are teamed up with Boss Ass Women of Sacramento, and also Uptown Studios. We're trying to get people, registered. So, the people are working on that. We're also on a campaign for a beer project that we have with the Mack family, which Theodore Mack Sr. owned People's Brewing from 1970 to 1974. So we got the rights to brew their beer. So that's huge, and we're pushing that campaign. So we want to go global with it, So Jeff and I and Mr. Theodore Mack Jr., we've been doing a lot of podcasts, like interviews, just pushing his father's legacy and what he wanted out of that beer, because his dad was the first black brewery owner in the United States.
Okay.
So we just want to pay homage to that. And I had already been doing research on Mr. Mack Sr. like years ago, and just to have this opportunity thrown on the table, I was like, man, I'm ready already. I'm good. Let's do it. So KJ reached out to the estate, and we're just pushing that campaign. What else do we have going on? We just celebrated our first year anniversary, which was a great year, a year of growth.
It's a hard year to to have be your first year.
Yeah, 2020's a monster. But I think we're holding steady, and we're definitely here for the community. That's one reason we didn't close the brewery. We had the option to, and my input was like, man, we got to be here for the people. If things get bad, we got access to maybe food, water. It's like we have to be a hub for the community. So yeah, but we got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Outside of beer.
Outside of beer.
Yeah.
Well, there's the beer too. I know. Well, especially with your campaign and everything. That's the beer's been a big story coming out of Oak Park in the last couple months.
Yeah. So, and if I can do a shameless plug, well, actually, it's not a shameless plug. You guys drink this and vote. Check them out on Instagram. If you need to register, they have all of the information there. So you guys check them out.
Drink
they're
this
doing
and
some
vote.
really good things. Yeah, drink this and vote. So we're actually brewing a beer for that campaign, which I think we're going to be releasing in a few weeks. We're going to brew it today or tomorrow or Thursday.
Okay.
So so we're excited about that. I think we're going to do, the ladies, they want something more hoppy, IPA-ish. So it's probably going to be an IPA.
So you've been doing that, like brewing beer around issues and things. Do you have, was there an impetus behind that, or was that always part of the plan?
Can you, like, I want to be clear with it. Just rephrase
Well, so like
that.
you have,
Yeah.
so you're brewing a Drink This and Vote beer to
Okay.
support your voter registration campaign.
Yeah.
And I know a couple weeks ago finished our last can of the Black is Beautiful
Okay.
that you did, and you know, it seems to be related. You know, a lot of the
Yeah.
beers that you're brewing related to
Yeah.
things that are going on.
Okay, and I'm glad you rephrased it. So,
Okay.
like, I just wanted to be clear because I knew where you're going, but I was like, let me make sure.
Okay.
So, we're all about community, you know. So, I don't know if you know that Marcus Baskerville, he's from Rancho.
Okay.
So, he owns a brewery in San Antonio called Weathered Souls Brewing. He pushed that campaign. He reached out to us. No questions asked. We were in. What do we need to do? You know, so beautiful campaign. A lot of breweries participated. And, you know, it needed to be said. That needed to happen. So, you know, I want to see more things like that. I have something that I want to bring to the table that it's going to blow people away. And nobody's going to see this coming. So I'm super excited to sit down with, you know, the crew and say, hey, can this happen? Or this is my vision. This is how I want to approach it. Because, you know, with the Black is Beautiful campaign, it was stemmed around, you know, people getting shot, you know, just like unarmed people, you know. And I think people need to be held accountable. When you do dirt, you got to be held accountable for it. It's like, you know, it's you murder somebody. Like straight up, it's like, come on, you know. It's like I'm not having it, you know.
Okay.
So there's a campaign that I want to like put on the table, reach out to other breweries, and we're gonna get on their psyche, you know. So there's no way around this. I love the Black is Beautiful campaign, but I want to do something a little different, and whether you like it or not, it's going to be in your eye range, you know. So people need to be held accountable, and you know, it's like, yeah, you think you get away, but you don't. And I think this is a good way to step up and hold those people accountable. So if we can't get you with the legal system, we'll get you with your conscience.
Okay.
You know, so yeah.
You know, it's kind of a new thing that, you know, a local, you know, you're a restaurant brewery. To use what you're doing to make a statement about the things that are happening in the world, in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and that's, you know, if I can follow up with that, you know, it's our brew crew. We talk about things all the time. It's like, we don't want to be like all the other breweries. That's so boring. You know, it's like, yeah, we can make beer, but, and this is in my opinion, how many beers have you had that you don't remember?
A lot?
A lot of beers.
Yes.
How many beers do you remember because they have a story behind it? Every
Okay.
beer that we produce has a story behind it, you know, and so we push that. So when you read our descriptors on our beers, it's a story. You remember that story. So stories go in the cans at Oak Park Brewing Company. That's in my opinion.
Stories go in the cans.
Yeah,
That's
stories
an
go in the
excellent
can.
slogan. You guys should market
Okay.
with that, because that is.
You hear that, Becca? I hope you're listening.
So you have your voter registration campaign, and what other ways are you guys? I mean, you're centrally located off of Broadway. It's not the middle of the neighborhood, obviously, but definitely, you know, on the well-traveled path. So I mean, it's been nice just to drive by and see you open.
Yeah.
Throughout, you know, the last 6 months when, you know, that was hit and miss. What other ways are you guys trying to be involved in the community?
So recently I had to get glasses. So Saturday I had to go get an eye exam. And so I'm going to have my first, you know, interaction with wearing glasses, which, you know, I was talking to the guy that owns the business, and I was like, hey, man, you ever do any, you know, events where you guys come out, do like eye exams or do something, you know? It's like, you know, it's like the average person, it's like they can't afford glasses, or they don't even, I didn't know. I had to do research. I wanted to find out what this whole process was going to be. I had people telling me, oh, they're going to dilate your eyes and you're not going to be able to drive and you're going to have to wear shades. But it was something new. But I think whenever I come in contact with people, it's like I want to connect everybody. If you need glasses, hey, why not go check this guy out? It's like we want to do something where people can see, oh, we didn't even know about this guy and his business. But we want to connect the people with all of these different entities. It's like people don't know what they can have until you make it available. And it's like we try to network with good people. All the people that we've networked with so far are amazing people. Mm-hmm. They say what they're going to do and they do it. And we push one another. It's like, if you're going to do it, do it. If there's an issue, still do it, make it happen. And we just want to bring whatever to the community. It's like I have a friend that has a nonprofit out of Louisiana. So they're going to be going to Thailand this year. They went to Africa last year, but they have a program where people donate art, like art goods, to kids, that, don't have a lot, but it's focused on kids that were like sold into, like they were brought in like child trafficking. What's the word? Trafficking, human trafficking, so some of the kids, they're forced into prostitution and all these things. So with these art supplies, they can draw out. I guess you can use that as a vice to release or kind of share your thoughts. But they're going to Thailand this year, and hopefully we can lock it in. But they're wanting to, of course, bring the art supplies, but they also are focusing on like female hygiene products. So I want to tap into that, and I want us to be a part of that. And just. The young lady that works with that project, I met her in Cuba.
Okay.
And we just became friends, and we stayed connected. She's bright. She's definitely, somebody that goes out there and makes it happen. So, I'm going to make it happen. So if anybody wants to donate, we're going to have that information up at oakparkbrewco.com. So keep your eyes and ears out for it. Okay, so
like a donation drive for the project?
Yeah. So either products or, it's like financially, we're going to have this stuff shipped to Louisiana. So, if anybody wants to contribute to that venture, then, we'll have all the information up and rolling. So, yeah.
You've said that you guys have basically been open through this whole time. How is it? What's it like being a business in Oak Park? Right now during this time with COVID and...
I mean, everybody's dealing with it.
Yeah.
So, Oak Park, I mean, this is like worldwide, so we're just trying to stay afloat, and, there's challenges, but it's like you definitely want to be positive, and we want to be leaders. And I can't speak for the owners or anybody else, but I feel in my heart we all want to be those guys to lead by example. Okay. So no matter how hard times get, it's like you got to rise above.
So, as, the hard time continues and, things keep getting more difficult as people have lost their jobs and things are becoming difficult in this neighborhood. What do you think we could do to come together as a community to support each other?
I mean, it's like, that's a commune. We need to build better relationships. I feel that like in this time and point in my life, I know the value of a relationship, and you want to surround yourself by people that are progressive, and show grace. It's like if some people don't get it, hey, that's who they are. Show some grace when they get it. Embrace them and say, let's move forward together. There's a lot of bickering, a lot of politics. I think that keeps the people divided. And, it's like we're better than that.
Yeah.
So we're all better than that. And if you have a conscience You know, it's like I have a conscience. It's like I like to sleep when I sleep, you know, but you know the difference between right and wrong, yes and no. Life's simple, we just make it complicated.
That is true. And I know that you said early on that, you know, the politics, you know, get in the way of seeing people. And, you know, we have our stories and we're trying to live our lives and do the same things. And, you know, this is one way that we're trying to share people's stories so that we can get to know each other in the neighborhood. I'm trying to think of, you know, other ways we can get beyond that, you know, moving beyond, especially as, you know, there are plenty of things to distract us between, you know, just the hardships of life in this particular time, and, you know, the fact that we are going into an election season, and plenty of people I know with dear consciences, great, you know, dear people with consciences still are, you know, holding on to some of that. You know, I think it's really important to figure out how to hear each other's stories and let go and have grace and forgiveness.
Yeah, so and it's like with you saying that, it's like I had a conversation with somebody, it was like maybe like a month ago, and it was a deep conversation, and she was like, "What can I do?" I was like, "Man, you're doing it." And she goes, "What's that?" I was like, "We're sharing dialogue. We're having a conversation. You know, we can agree to disagree. You know, at least I know where you stand. You know where I stand. You know, but it's starting that conversation. You know, it's like, get the chips off your shoulder. You know, you are who you are. Like I am who I am. You know, let's have a conversation. At least we know where we both stand. You know, but yeah, just start a conversation. You know, sometimes the truth hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, sometimes it does.
It hurts. So if you can't deal with the pain, you got to question, why am I hurting?
Yeah.
Hey.
Why does this truth hurt me?
Yeah. So if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
It hurts. It hurts.
It hurts.
It hurts.
And I think it seems that we've lost the art of looking for the humanity in each other when we're different.
Yeah. So, and that's, man, I don't even have to say anything. You just said it all right there. It's like we're humans. You know, I look at nature, and this is in my opinion. I look at nature. Nature has never failed. Humans fail every day. Way short. You know, but if you look at like the birds, you know, it's like everything. You know, it's like they do what they do, and humans, wow.
We have a little more baggage.
Wow, and we're supposed to be more intelligent. Wow.
Well, I will say that birds can get vicious, but yes.
Yeah.
So can we.
Yeah.
With much more lasting and damaging consequences.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you think you'd like to share about yourself, your story, who you are?
Man, I'm on my journey. Everybody's on their journey. I feel that in the last 10 years, I've had a lot of personal growth, you know, and it's like, instead of reacting to things, you know, I just sit back and kind of think them out. You know, it's like, let me look at this. Like, if you react, you're going on your emotions, but if you actually think about it, you know, you're gonna look at it for what it's worth. So I think personal growth's been great for me, and you know, so I'm never gonna stop learning. You know, but I'm definitely open to learn. If I don't understand, make me understand, or let me understand, help me understand. You know, but you know, I'm me. I'm my own person. I want to be a better Rodg, and I can't be anybody else. And I don't want to be compromised by anybody else, you know. So, yeah, sometimes a lot of people go along to get along, and they don't step up and express themselves and say what they need to say. And I feel that, you know, more people need to do that. So, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I'll
thank
call you back, Micah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
thank you
your time
guys.
and coming to talk to me.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me. And I wish Jeff could have been here, or Rebecca, because like when we talk about the beers, it's like, it's a team effort, So, it's like we talk about a lot. We had one of our latest beers, the artwork was kind of risque. And when it came around to me checking it out, I was like, man, I love the art. But, it's like, I don't want to be those guys. It's like, I don't want to be, it's like if somebody messes up, that's what they're known for the rest of their life, that one negative thing. And I was like, this can't, no. We're on a run. We're tearing it up right now. And, artwork's great, but let's present it in a way to where people can check out the artist's work and they can get a full understanding of the artwork that she does, So, and we communicate a lot and we're open, So, yeah.
That's fantastic.
But definitely thank you guys. I wish you guys the best with what you're doing, and any way we can help, we're here. Just reach out and call us.
All right. Thank you.
Call us. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you guys.
Thank you very much, Rodg.
Thank you guys.